up a seat to the bar and join us for another episode of McAnally's Pubcast, a podcast exploring the fun and fantastical mind of Jim Butcher's The Dresden Files series. Hosts Tansen, Jess, and Maggie bring you another round of literary analysis on this immense, immersive, and colorful environment inhabited by Harry Dresden, the world's only licensed private investigator and professional wizard. Join an active and engaged community of new and die-hard dedicated fans focused on the fabulous themes, theories, characters, context, lore, and more. This is McAnally's Dresden Files Pubcast, brought to you by Free Flow Rambling. Conjure by it at your own risk. Welcome to the McAnally's Pubcast, brought to you by Free Flow Rambling. This is episode 19.2, Bad Santa and the Sycophant, where we are covering the graphic novel Downtown. My name is Tansen, and I'm joined by Maggie.
Hello.
And Jess.
Humans do not possess the right sense input to detect water.
That's why we have dowsing rods.
That's why animals can all find their way to water, but we just die in the desert.
That's why when you touch laundry, you often go, wait, is this wet or is this cold? I can't tell.
Hot.
You can lead a horse to water, but humans are stupid. Issue 3. Molly is able to free herself from the oxygen-impeding goo and trap it. The sorcerer that controls the monster decides to change tactics and has the Golem kidnap the next victim to bring back to him. Harry and Molly decide to use the kinetically enhanced goo to track the Golem to its home base, but Marcone apprehends them before they can continue.
Yeah, Molly can hold her breath longer than I can, I think.
I really like Mouse bitch slapping her, though.
Yeah, right?
So you asked me if this was one of the covers that irked me. It was actually the next one. But when I looked at all of them, this one is in a very similar style as to the next episode or issue as well, which changes style, like completely style. I think my issue with this cover one is that the goo is transparent in this, not the red stuff that we've been dealing with. Her outfit's totally different. She's got this red top. Her tattoos are completely different. And it actually in the next issue's cover also is just she looks a little bit similar, although she's auburn haired in the next one. So it's just,
I was gonna say I kind of like her outfit and stuff like that, like the top and stuff she's wearing. I see is very Molly, and again, just the sort of slightly more natural body shape kind of a thing I like his shooting. But yes, as for the Molly that is like literally on the page opposite, that is like platinum blonde, not like golden hair blonde, and like definitely different like proportionates and features to proportion.
The shirt has changed, the tattoos have changed, the hair has changed. She's a different person.
Yeah, it's just lacks cohesion.
Cohesion is.
But getting back into the actual issue itself, where she's struggling to breathe because this thing has attacked her.
Yes.
She is quite clever. She tries to run upstairs to see if she can find one of Thomas's old swords, but then goes, just use what we were doing before, and kinetics it off her face.
Yes. Thank goodness. Because it also would have been really awkward to try and use a cavalry saber on her face. Let me just delicately slice this off with a very, very, very sharp sword.
Mouse try to chew it off too.
Or, I think it's bad when people French kiss their dogs. What is it when he tries to spend 20 minutes trying to chew snot off your face? Again, this isn't my entire headcanon of Mr., but I don't like the way Mr. looks in these shots.
He looks like a gray tiger with no tail.
He does kind of look like a gray tiger and more. Yeah, so like I said, he doesn't really fit, but I'm like, I like the look of this cat.
I do like the look of the cat too.
But yeah,
he doesn't have the size either.
I was going to say he's not necessarily like Mr., but I do just like the portrayal. So we're finally actually a little bit almost getting somewhere. This is actually kind of that little scene actually about the thing trying to go after Mr. and then her distracting it and coming it over to the boat.
It is cute.
It is kind of cute. All three are Mouse squashing it.
Talk about teamwork.
Talk about teamwork. That was kind of a cute little. But yeah, so they managed. It's kind of a nice change because half the time in movies like this, anytime there's a sludge slime thing, it can get if it's not airtight, it can seep out. So I'm I like that it actually got trapped under the bowl and didn't just squish out in the tiny infinitesimal gap between the rim of the bowl.
It's a nice moment of cacophony that's held well and followable.
Yes. Yes.
Understandable. Followable.
In Intolerable.
So in the next scene, we get to see more of our perpetrator, who I have decided looks like a homeless Santa / troll.
Wow.
I kind
He
of...
does. He's too wide.
Yeah,
He's very wide, very short.
That's what Hendrix should be built like.
Yeah. Clean him up a little bit. That's Hendrix.
Yeah.
But tall, because Hendrix is fairly tall, too. Which is the only problem in the other one. And I get, like, yeah, he was
This
supposed
is
to be...
Bigfoot.
Yeah. This is like a
This is
sort of...
Irwin when he gets old.
a miniature Bigfoot kind of thing. It's a little bit of a shorter, stouter, but yeah. Again, more babbling from this, which I guess is he's a crazy guy. But again, usually I don't know, there's somehow more established to the crazy guy. So I guess
Well, yeah,
you
you'd wish that there was, like, I don't know, a hint of him being associated with something that at least
Just some
let
kind of
on
character.
how he's involved or why. Like, because he's not even he doesn't have issues with Dresden at all. He's here because he's got issues with Chicago. Or like I saw that some people online were saying, oh, like he's like a Marcone villain, he came. But even that's not super clear. He's targeting Marcone's clients, but... Like,
It seems
I think
almost
by
accidentally,
accident,
yeah.
exactly. Like, it doesn't seem to know that he's targeting Marcone's client. It's just by habit of being a resident of Chicago, there's a 50-50 chance you're paying the racket.
And it almost seems like he's just sort of happenstancely making fun of the liquor store owner, where he's like, "Do you feel protected?
Yeah, like
This is the place that's protected." Like,
he doesn't seem specifically like, oh, you thought you were protected from who? Like, he doesn't seem to be like he knows.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think it's specifically aimed against Marcone as Marcone. What he seems to be taking umbrage with here is the fact that he talks about himself as being like the Lord and Master. So the fact that they're treating Marcone as, right, Marcone could be anybody. And if there's 3 Marcones in the city, they would, right? But he's be like, no, I'm supposed to be the one. This is my city. I'm in charge of it.
But like nobody's
Anybody
even heard of you, dude. Like,
I know.
I mean, we can almost even look at it thematically, as like that we do with the rat spirit thing. That's like, you've poisoned my domain, and why should I do anything for you?
Yeah, but I
In that
just
same
like this
sort of
guy
a
just
vein,
woke
like-
up today and was like, you know what? I want to be king of Chicago.
It's
And I'm going to start killing people until they start calling me king. Like, it's just his motivations and his
Except-
executions are weird.
Except
not enough information.
Except that Marcone has now just legally elevated himself.
Become the Baron and possibly triggered this guy, but he doesn't say any of that.
He doesn't say any of that, and I agree. That is part of what is. But just the way he keeps saying, I'm your Lord and Master, you should serve me, you should be coming to me, you know.
To me, that feels like a leap, but sure.
I'm wondering
it's a really
if that's...
weakly developed character. Like, ultimately, like I said before, we don't know who he ends up being. We don't know if he's immortal, if he's a man. He does, because he scoffs saying, "Oh, you mortal," which intonates that he is not, but he's killed.
But really, I think it's just like for fans of the Dresden File, really, just like, oh, you want content, here's content. But yeah, it doesn't really do anything. It's like, it's not a story. It's got no plot. It's got no relation to the rest of the world.
I was
going to
say, if he had been given like one of these things, like I could live without a name if we sort of knew more his like where he sprang up from or what. Even if like you say they just connected and be
really
like, oh,
stupid one that we did. Warcry, where the very last panel was like, oh, they were being funded by...
Where there's a major spoiler at the end of it.
A major spoiler. It was like, oh, he was hired by the Reds to, like, go after Harry. At least that would put some sort of reason for him being in here. Or if it was like, I don't know, just like, I, had beef with Marcone in my youth, or like, it's just anything at all. Yeah, this guy basically literally just, like...
Yeah,
grew out of the swamps and was like,
We've seen better, like, Welcome to the Jungle was a much better presented story.
Exactly,
that was fully fledged.
Even Warcry did a good job too. It's just this one in particular just seems to have no real plot. It's just like
it's this thrown together,
yeah, Harry's just like, you know what? Sometimes things happen that are unrelated to anything else, and we just got to go quash them.
And I get that, because you can look at it kind of like one of those cases. Like I sort of mentioned it before, like he has another one where he was like one of these side story ones where he was like, yeah, I'd never found out the guy's name, just like some unnamed sorcerer was trying to like sacrifice things or whatever, right? So I'm like, I get kind of, you're not always going to know.
A
and again,
paragraph.
We hear,
this is a
but that's what I mean,
story,
right?
yeah.
But yeah, we hear about that, the coin collector guys, right? So we're like, we know Harry does these other stories that are not monumentally epic to the rest of the workings of,
it's just when there's an audience, aka us, you expect those stories to be a little bit more relevant to the overall plot of the Dresden Files.
Yeah, but that's what I mean, right? I'm like, I could live without him having a name if there was something, but the fact that like there's no point to where he's who exactly is his enemy? Why is he here without? It's all of those things.
Yeah, with all of it being a question,
with
like,
all
this
of it being a question,
unnecessary.
you need I'm like one or two.
If there was anything you were going to skip in the Dresden Files and have zero consequences, this is it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Probably.
would not be missing anything whatsoever. Even the friendship, or at least camaraderie, between all the characters in this novel is even that not significant enough to matter. It's like, who cares?
Compared to other
the cops
moments.
don't really do anything. The even Harry and Marcone and Molly were like that.
Oh yeah, cops do like absolutely nothing. Like Murphy is there basically just
to introduce him to the case.
It's again, it's almost like those like executive producer. They mean shit, but they're like, oh, we'll make you executive producer on this. That basically that's Murphy's role in this.
We can't publish anything without one appearance from Murphy.
But speaking of Murphy's executive producer role, here her and Rollins are finding the next body. And then disappearing again. She's going back to Hawaii with Kincaid.
They're doing almost exactly the same thing that Harry did when he returned to the crime scene. They're like, oh, let's check this out. Oh no!
They open the door, look in there, like, yep, still a crime scene. Close the door, let's go home, boys. Yeah.
But then, they almost go immediately to because the monster comes back for the liquor store guy, and they go straight to that one because they're in the neighborhood. It's just whoa, rinse, repeat.
But now we find out they're hitting the neighborhood methodically by these 2 incidents. So now we know where they're going to hit next. Isn't it? Don't you need like 3 before it's a like once is a tragedy, 2 is a coincidence, 3 is a pattern. Like, isn't that how? And then, like, you're only a 2, Murphy.
And then 4 is a serial killer
or something. Yeah, whatever. Yeah. But anyways, yes. But they're going to now predict where
they're doing their thing, and they got the little hint of what's going to happen in the next frame, which is I wish we'd
kept following Hendrix.
I wish we'd kept following Hendrix because I feel like we're missing something. Enter Hendrix, who has been following
Harry.
Harry. Here's the funny part is because we do realize that Harry got to this portal and then backtracked to go back to his house.
This is like some kind of fucked up Pied Piper thing. Harry's following the rats. Hendrix is following Harry.
Spy
Murphy's
versus spy.
following Henry.
I'm just kind of surprised because Hendrix, being the lumbering guy that clearly has a flashlight everywhere he's going, that was following Harry, was not seen when Harry backtracks to go back home.
I know. Did he just like hide in the corner until Harry left, and then he's like, okay, what was down that stairwell? Like, I don't know. There's holes.
Boss, you got to see this. But this is how we find it. This is the little crucial tidbit of why Hendrix has to follow in that sort of a vein. So Marcone
so we know where
ambush
to go
later.
We need to know where we're going next. This is, again, not as bad as that other one, but Molly is also sitting very awkwardly on this bowl.
These are very hypermobile women.
This one does not bother me quite as much as the other, like, half, like, I don't know, are you trying to
guard is the worst.
Stop peeing your pants kind of pose? But
guard is by far the worst.
Yeah, guard is the worst. But he comes back anyways, and he's like,
what?
Fuck? Animated by Stars and Stones, of course. Glad you get it, Harry.
This is where we get
It's the only interesting part of the entire book.
Info about
golems.
The Golem of Prague.
Wrong kind of golem.
A golem, not the golem. Yes, the oldest stories. Maharal.
So they can be raised to protect or to oppose, and they are very hard to control is what we glean from this.
And it's such a sad kind of story, too, because, right, they're like, they stop the sorcerer, and then he loses control and basically kills half the people he was trying to protect. Yeah. Well, I guess there's a moral to a story.
It's actually kind of cool, because did you read the Golem of Prague?
Like, outside of this reference? Yeah. No.
So I looked it up, and it was like essentially, like this guy was like, we got to protect Prague. So he makes this golem, and he turns it off every Friday night, because the Sabbath day is Saturday for Jewish people. So every Friday night he turns it off and goes to pray in the temple all day long. And one Friday he forgets, and then it starts going on this rampage. So they come and interrupt
his prayers.
The prayers, and they're on like Psalm 92. So they interrupt Psalm 92, and he goes out and deals with it. And then when he gets back, they repeat Psalm 92. So to this day, they always do Psalm 92 twice in a row. Oh. But Psalm 92 is literally about like dealing with evil things that come after you and how you're going to like end them and put them down again.
What is the Lord is my shepherd? Is that 91?
I don't know what the Lord of the shepherd. I don't know any psalm at all. I just looked at this one because this is the one that got referenced.
But that's the super popular comment.
And that sounds like you're
gun to my head. I couldn't name a single psalm ever. Well, my Catholic education is horrible, and this isn't even Catholic.
I get that, but you read books and shit.
I've never read a book in my life.
Oh my God.
Because I think you are thinking of Catholic rhetoric.
Well, yes, I am.
You know what? Same God.
Oddly enough. I was going to say, I'm not sure if the Psalms are, I mean, they're...
Different book.
There might be other...
He wrote a lot of books, same guy.
All plagiarized.
Well, that's Psalm 23. I was way off.
Plagiarized? I don't know.
23 and 92 are a long way apart.
What's that word called?
What, plagiarized? Is parodied? Satire?
Plagiarized, I'm not sure.
Paraphrased.
For sure, definitely.
That's the word I was looking for. Thank you.
Paraphrased, definitely. Taken out of context, 100%.
Okay, but I am now going to check Psalm 91 real quick.
I just did. It's not important.
Right.
Maybe not to you. I might have heard of it.
So we get the little bit of history, and thank you for filling that in. I really liked hearing that. That was good. And the golem appears to this liquor store owner, or cashier.
He called it a temple.
Cashier, at least.
Sorry, it's a synagogue, not a temple.
So the golem appears at the liquor store, and instead of killing the cashier, he kidnaps him. Lo and behold, Murphy and Rawlings are there to fail.
You were right. 2 isn't a pattern, because they immediately ruined it on the 3rd.
Oh, yes. For all their figuring out that something was being abducted, there's a big giant monster smashing through things next door. Wait, I think we know where he's going next.
Let me throw myself in the path.
Oh, no, I was too
that's
late.
a wall, never mind.
Yeah, I mean, she's kind of like, I like that she's like, oh, we'll never stop this thing, so I might as well just try and save the guy without stopping him. I'm like, okay, virtuous, Murphy, but yeah, like, what do you expect to do here right now?
Well, she's got more smarts
Martial
than
arts.
that.
Martial arts, okay.
But this is also proving that this thing is pretty much indestructible to
That's pretty.
guns, magic,
but I was going to say, if you
etc.
can't shoot this thing or bazooka this thing or whatever, I'm like, again, if it's got that solid a grip and it's that invincible, don't you just feel like you're going to like rip the dude in half if you try ripping him out of this immovable object's grasp?
This is what
I mean, I'm not saying I wouldn't have gone to do that, but I just feel like, yeah, it's probably just as well, though, that the guy, like,
and adrenaline
ran
said,
away. Yeah,
I want to
yeah.
help. Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
That was
like,
dumb.
I think it's probably lucky for the guy that the thing ran off with him, otherwise he might have been.
So we get back to the point where Harry and Molly decide that they're going to use this kinetically charged goo and let it go because, it's not going to attack people.
Obviously, the only thing it's trying to do is get back
Go
to
home.
its base. Yeah. This thing that tried to just kill you when
Red
you
goo,
animated
go home.
it.
Red goo,
Yeah.
go home.
So that's, yeah.
So they're gonna follow
Can't
it.
possibly be going out to, like, I don't know, just try and continue murdering on its own or something. They're like, nope. It'll
There's
want
a
to
lot of
redo it.
really quick cuts in this because then after that we're back to Bad Santa on his steampunk Iron Throne.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I guess maybe this isn't the same. But why the
Because
heck
the front of the Voodoo Throne
had little axes, and
this
you're
one
right, this one doesn't.
has saw blades.
But then why?
But
Then
clearly
why?
these
The,
artists aren't paying attention.
then why? Yeah. But then why the fuck is she
Cohesion.
altered on a chair then instead of like why isn't it like
It's in
a
the
little-
downtown, the underground. They only have 2 chairs.
and no tables?
In all fairness, they do preface at some point when Marcone and Harry are all walking down there, they're like, this is the Undertown, and Undertown has no cohesion. So you could walk right and then open a door, and then you go through it, and then you turn around and the door is gone.
Yes.
So apparently this counts for the entire comic.
Because yes, you
No
know
cohesion.
Because see, this does still have the same blades and shit stick with the red hankies hanging
the
off
same,
it in the
it's
back.
the same guy that's decorating everything, so he has a very
Maybe.
chosen aesthetic.
I guess maybe it's just yeah, it's just. But the other thing,
He's like,
I
I've kidnapped you so you could try my custom wine. We're at the point where Bad Santa is like, I'm your god, want to try my wine?
It's too late. You can yell all you want. Nobody will hear you down here.
And the liquor store guy, really? Like, if I've been kidnapped and I'm scared shitless and like...
He holds himself together pretty well.
I was going to
He's
say,
like,
yeah, I
will
will. Yes,
kiss
all right.
your ass,
I
Lord.
will.
I
Yeah.
will kiss your ass. If it
Yeah.
means I live,
You don't want to
done.
kill me? You want to sit and drink? Okay, I will sit and drink.
I mean, I may
that's
have
fair.
like feigned drinking it. Like we've never like.
That's
you got to
true.
learn from Persephone, man.
don't take from strangers, guys.
in the underworld. Don't consume anything.
Even if that literally just means like underneath.
Like,
under is under, dude.
you can pretend to swallow and just spit it back in the bottle like at the last second. Come on.
backwash.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
I wouldn't care. But yeah, what do you want, Lord? I want tribute. So now is the first hint we get that he's feeling slighted somehow and that people aren't paying enough attention to him. Aw, are you feeling redundant? Poor
Well,
baby.
That connotates that like he had it in the first place. I think he's just it's a power grab of
it's
sorts.
just like, is it about okay, you're just that delusional that you thought you had. So I guess maybe that was it until
we only
anybody
have
could
some of the hint that maybe like the calling a golem has driven him crazy. That's one of the possibilities that I can think of. But he did it for an altruistic reason and for some reason has lost control. Maybe.
But the whole like you don't try because if you don't fail, then you haven't lost, kind of like, you know what that whole thing is, right? You'd be like, well, if I never do it, then I'll never fail at it, kind of a thing, right? So it's like maybe that was his whole thing. It was like, well, it was just like an unofficial, you know, he could just go around telling himself all the time that he was the Lord and Master of Chicago. But then when somebody actually like legitimately came out and like claimed that title publicly, then he's like, well, I can't pretend anymore. Like somebody is actually,
you have questioned my reality. I must retaliate.
Yeah, even though I didn't tell anybody I was the Lord and Master of Chicago, there was nobody refuting the fact that I was the Lord and Master of Chicago. But now you've actually acknowledged that. So now I'm just going to go on a killing spree.
Yeah. It's thin.
Yeah.
So, moving on, we have I'm going to, from here on, call it Harry and Company.
Yep.
Which is Molly and
Mouse so far.
So far. We'll add one more when it comes to it. But they follow the path, which Harry already knows the way because he followed the mischief.
Well, he knew there was something down there. I guess he didn't necessarily know.
Now he's confirmed because apparently he didn't notice the goo residue.
And I was going to say, again.
And Molly being like, oh, I sense
this time
this guy being scared.
Yeah, this time Mouse is sniffing stuff out. There's little globs of goo dropped everywhere. And then, when she touches the thing, she gets the sense of. But and I was
we
like,
got some checks and balances.
So the thing didn't drop little globs of glue. Like you could have just followed this thing straight out of the pawn shop and back to the guy on day one.
But we needed a nature spirit. Why did we need a nature spirit?
I don't know. We needed a sentient little piece of goo to find its way back to it. I got it.
Yeah. We needed to involve pizza.
Man,
somehow.
Butcher's lucky we love him. What would we be like if we if we actually wanted to like critique his stuff?
How many times I do have to clarify? Butcher, we really do enjoy your stuff.
Really do.
We also really enjoy making fun of your stuff too sometimes.
Yeah.
And you deserve it in this one.
Parody is the highest form of flattery for us. That also includes like criticism and sarcasm and making fun of just in general.
All right. So Molly senses that the liquor store guy was on this path and terrified.
Yes. he was doing the 5-year-old and not letting go of the banister thing while my mom tries to drag me to
go to bed.
Yeah, exactly. No. Oh.
Okay, so he's got some clarification. So this is where Harry decides this is a good place to release the goo, just in time for the goons to arrive.
And once again, I get it. Okay, it's great. It makes sense. But he shows up with, what does he have, like a dozen guys here, plus a guard and Hendrix. And then Harry's like, no, don't come. And Marcone's like, okay, I'll just come on my own. I'm like, why did you bring like 20 people with you then? If you were just going to sneak off and go it alone with just like, I guess if it had worked out for this 1 in a million time, you would have had your dozen guys with you. But yeah, I'm like, I don't know.
Thank you so much to our Patreon subscribers for your generous support. It's people like you who help us keep doing what we're doing. If you're not yet a Patreon subscriber, sign up today and get a fuck ton of bonus content, kick-ass merch, behind-the-scenes outtakes, and more. Sign up today at patreon.com/freeflowrambling.
Issue 4. Harry and his group continue through the Undertown. They are briefly set back by the psychic attack of malicious spiders, but eventually make their way to the man in control of the Golem. Yeah, this is the other. Oh God,
maybe
Mouse looks so melty in this cover.
He does look melty
it's
right
gross.
there. He's
all that drawing a mouse. I'm like
all that time snuffling around. He's now just like coated in like goo and sewer slime from.
Well, they all look just softer.
There's something. I was gonna say I could slightly argue
puppet from what's his name, Dark Crystal.
Oh yeah, I could slightly argue with here that Molly is not intentionally auburn. That is supposed to be just this reddish, fiery glow on everything.
What's with
Harry's
gold
face?
Like,
yeah, I don't know. He's grimacing.
And he's got, instead of a pentacle, I thought his thing was an actual pentacle.
Oh,
not like a rune with a
pentacle carved into it, yeah. It almost looks like it's on his shirt. It almost doesn't even look like a necklace. Like it's just like a thing on his shirt. Honestly, I don't hate Harry's face. Like, it doesn't necessarily fit with the other things. I don't necessarily hate this face or expression. Honestly, it's sort of more normal, realistic, quote unquote, as
See,
a
he's
lot
got
of
the button
other.
nose that I expect Murphy to have.
But yeah, right there. But Molly is really got like the cringy face going on, like, gee, what is that? You know, like just her
So those are the
expression
two
is-
covers that I really have issue with.
But gotcha, that's fair.
They're not consistent with the other covers, and definitely not with the artwork.
Yeah,
Speaking of the
is
artwork, we get another terrible example of poor
interesting string.
Guard.
Yeah, again, another really awkward. Now she's like, real bulky in this one.
She looks like she's like standing in heels, but is not.
But once again, yes. Oh, John, what a surprise! So this is where, is this the first time he says gentleman? Because they've quoted it out.
No, he's always been gentleman. I think it's just...
No, in this issue.
Why the fuck not?
The first time he showed up
No,
in the
no,
door,
they
did he
didn't.
just
Yeah,
call
they
him
did.
John? And now he's like, gentlemen, Johnny Marcone and I have been doing the cat and mouse routine for a long time. Thank you for, I don't know. Again, that wouldn't have been pertinent on like when he first shows up at your door in the first chapter, but
They
now,
did.
You know, this is where Mouse's face gets worse.
Now you got angry mouse. He's not cute, snuggly mouse anymore.
It's because his
Muzzle?
is so tall on the front part, like the upper part.
You find
Like that just, it's just terrible.
I don't know. Don't agree with
I don't like it. I don't like it. His face looks fucked up.
Poor mouse.
It does though, right?
Poor mouse.
Yeah, it's
Which I
wrong.
feel a bit bad because honestly, like when he first gets, like the first time Sir Mouse grew up, he does sort of relate him to like a Tibetan Mastiff. And honestly, as far as a Tibetan Mastiff goes, this is not terribly
But it's starting
offer,
to not look
but it just
dog-like even.
But I was like, it just doesn't. Again, it doesn't mesh quite with my mouse. So I'm like, it's again subjective.
it's just
but,
something weird and unsettling in a skinwalker kind of way for me.
yeah, I guess I don't know. I guess I'm trying to imbue Mouse with his otherworldliness. You know, I'm like you just you can't draw what doesn't exist. But anyways, yeah, so now they're gonna just like get pissy with each other, and Marcone is like, I told you not to come, so I'm just gonna gun you down in a sewer now.
Curious action for like, you
Okay.
don't want to violate the Accords, but I'm going to attack you, which would probably violate the Accords because you're attacking a warden.
Except Marcone knows nobody likes him, so he's like, nobody's actually gonna... It's just Dresden. Nobody's actually gonna like... Well,
But then he takes it back as he's like, I'm going to dive through all of this mayhem, and now that the ceiling's collapsing, and be like, oh, no, it's fine. I knew you were going to do this, so I just wanted to make sure that I took control.
Right, it was all for sure. I knew that you'd know that I would show up, so I did it so that you would pull the thing, and I... Yeah.
I did also kind of appreciate the fact that they do a little bit of a tongue-in-cheek making fun of the, if I wanted you dead, then I'm...
Yeah, I did that already. All right.
We did this last book.
Yeah, we do this every book. Yeah, I get it.
It was fun the first time.
Yeah.
Making fun of it is the rightful place in this one, yes. But we also get examples of, again, how Harry likes to underestimate his contemporaries. Because he's like, Marcone, do you understand where you are? And Marcone's like, yeah, it's Undertown, and this is what Undertown is. He's like, there's a difference between knowing and actually experiencing.
Yeah. So I find it interesting. What you said before was wrong, Marcone. He's like, come again, Wizard. He's like, about Undertown being a city unto itself. So yeah, that's kind of what Marcone says, right? He's like, it's his own. Okay, I would just like to say on my like digital copy of this is like page 85, where he is telling Marcone that it's not actually a city. But on page 72, when he's talking to Molly, he calls it a city unto itself. Essentially, I'm like, oh, so it's okay for Marcone. It's like, he's like, it's
Obviously.
basically...
That's why I took it as him being like...
And then when he says it, you're like, okay, well, actually, you're wrong. It's like, I'm like, does that... I literally had to go back. I'm like...
And the fact that
was that
the
not
minute
what
that
you just described it?
the minute that he figures out that Marcone already knew it was a Golem without him.
Yeah, well, okay, but only
come
because Hendrix was following him in Cheetad. We don't know that Marcone figured it out, but we do know Hendrix
This whole
was
thing is
following
like
Harry,
him trying to make
so-
himself feel better.
Oh, hey,
because
boss!
He wants to underestimate his...
Well, yeah, it's literally,
I'm
it's
better
almost
at
like
this. Why
that
do you know
petty that it's like, oh, I love this shade of like purple, and then your enemy comes along and has been like, oh, this is a gorgeous purple. And you're like, actually, it's aubergine. You know? Like, that's literally what this is.
That's what happens when you don't like a person.
Yeah, but it's just funny. I was like, what?
One of these panels, though, is particularly, like, Superman fathered for me. Like, and I actually went out and...
The one where he's standing with his hands on his hip?
Yeah. So
Wait, his dad or his father?
It's
Superman's father,
father
Jor-El.
is what he said, yeah.
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 He's got two, doesn't he?
Oh, his Kryptonian father.
Thanks.
Oh, yeah, not his Earth.
So you can see, like...
His Earth dad was a farmer and elderly. He never
just
looked
very
like that.
similar to me. That like because he looks like that sort of Superman superhero. Well, he's in his stance. So just give him an S on his chest and a cape, and he's.
Don't we have to give him a J on his chest?
No, because the family crest is the S.
Makes no sense for the last name of Jor-El.
Well, Superman isn't his name, is it?
They had.
But that's what he is. He's dubbed Superman, so isn't that why he has an S?
And it just happens to be an S.
Apparently,
shape.
I haven't.
It's not actually Kryptonian.
Apparently, I just haven't
Or
delved.
Like an S. It is
I
Kryptonian.
don't know Superman lore either.
I was going to say I haven't delved far enough into that side of things.
I only watch Superman when he
crypto-
shows up in other people's movies.
Yeah, there you go.
Either way, he just looks to me a very less soccer coach and more.
I don't know, soldier of fortune.
Yeah.
Something mobster.
Oh, you know what he looks like to me? A mobster in Chicago.
Yes, you're right.
That too is slimy.
The only problem is the mobster's not supposed to.
This is the issue that I noticed there's dialogue changes for Bad Santa. Because his script written in the bubbles is fine. And then here, it starts not being correct. There was, I think, more than this one, but I used 2 examples. You stay here till I ready to deliver you. Mm-hmm. And if you good, I have another bottle.
See, I did more or less from the start.
Because he was using contractions before. He was using proper English.
I agree. I guess like they thought they wanted to have like a foreign accent on him, but they didn't really settle on one.
They switched it.
Or maybe it's just like this is to show that he's been drinking even more.
Or maybe that's part of it. Given his kind of look, like the way I see him drawn, and most of the gist I get from his style, it reminds me almost like this ancient mariner kind. So it's almost like that piratey sea dog.
Well, I thought maybe a later, like
you stay here till I'm ready to deliver you. Almost kind of like the old West guys, the way
But there's a way to do that, to articulate that. Why would you use the first three issues to have him speak articulately and then like drop contractions like this?
Well, I would have to go right back and reread, but I feel like it didn't. That it was like I was reading a bit more.
I was
like
looking for them until I got to this point. It was just, this is where it starts, I think.
I didn't think I found it as jarring, is all I'm saying. So I don't know.
At this point, I was like, is this a mistake by the person who's lettering this stuff that just didn't bother putting in the apostrophe REs?
Yeah, I think because I did notice a couple. There is one where.
Because it wasn't present prior.
Like a word is, where it's like I is repeated or something like that instead of, or like, the E left off of it. I don't know. There's definitely a couple where you can tell it is just sort of a typo. But I thought, there's more this type of
There's a couple within this few page range where it's like, what, why?
Yeah. I'm like, I don't see it so much as foreign. It's more just like, I get that more, that kind of, I don't know, sea dog kind of.
I mean, yeah, that's fine.
Uneducated kind of whatever, like that sort of as opposed to like, oh, he's talking like an Italian accent, like, you know what I mean?
We're in Undertown, where cohesion doesn't exist with language either.
Right. He walked into a different room. His accent and manner of speech changed.
That would make more sense if he's like
he's like, I'm in the old West.
Ariel with her trove of forks and things. That's like what his place looks like. He's like, everything's made out of bullshit that washed up on shore.
Yeah, right.
In Chicago.
Hey, man, it's a major port town, okay?
They have a lake, yeah.
Just because it's not an ocean port town.
Some people do think it's an ocean.
Do they still?
Some people
are these our flat earthers still? That still Lake Michigan is.
You can't see the coast on the other side, so it must be an ocean.
Must be an ocean. Cool. Woohoo! Go Michigan! You got an upgrade. So poor Pluto has been demoted, but meanwhile Michigan's sitting around going, "I'm a fucking ocean, guys."
Listen. In the age of knowledge, there is nothing but misinformation.
The internet is dead. It's fine.
It won't last much longer.
No, it's almost that fad is been and done.
Meanwhile,
I can't blame Buddy.
Buddy sneaks off.
But I was like, I don't like.
Yeah.
Again, you've got to. I get. But it doesn't seem like a very well, like literally this guy's just like turned around for a second. You've got this big, I'm like, I don't know, wait for him to like go to another. You don't just stand there and run away like while he's standing there. No, oh gee, I noticed you ran away from me. I mean, I get not wanting to be there. I would get wanting, but I just feel like, I don't know.
Adrenaline.
I might wait for what I felt was more of an opportune moment too.
And he clearly thought it was an opportune moment because he took it.
He took it. He ran and they're like,
it's okay. You're going to go get him, but you're going to take your time so he can experience all of the terror.
That's right.
The terror.
I was just going to be nice and sit and drink with you before I killed you, but now I'm going to scare the shit out of you first.
I just want to point out that Bad Santa is also coughing.
Little bit.
Mm-hmm. So whatever he's
But he already looks like he's on deathbed. He's already like old and
So, I feel like this is like details they added for
yes,
that maybe we're supposed to lead up to something, but maybe got cut.
maybe that does potentially.
Even that would be like...
Maybe that's where he got it from. He didn't
Still
infect.
gonna
He's just he's got whatever just because they're sharing a bottle. He accidentally passed his cold on to the other guy. It's just a magical cold that makes you. Oh, I can't say that either.
So back to Herring and Company, who have entered this area that's sort of this underground town that it looks like. It's really interesting. I screenshotted it for my own notes, and you were talking about it briefly.
Yeah. How did they get this like stone cavern to grow over?
Yes, that's not how sinkings work, but...
That's not how sinkings work.
We had supernatural down here, okay? They made it like that.
Right? Like, I kind of wonder, like, either you had to man-make some sort of foundation for above, or the supernatural came and excavated everything for their means.
Kept it all run down and broken, but they're like, no, we'll restore it enough to put it back together and put a roof over it. Because even, like I say, when you get down to Maeve's World War II party in book 4 or whatever there, when they go down and it's... Right? I'm like, even that, it's the building. You've got the building, like, cracked and shifted and buried. So I'm like, I can see how you've got the ballroom of this building. You've got the rest of the building to support whatever sank and came on top. That's what's making that space. It's not just that hotel standing on its own in the middle of a cavern you know what I mean? So I'm like, again, yeah, you've got tunnels going to and into places. So I understand like parts of it, right? And buildings and doorways into, but exactly just the way it is presented here where there's like this semi-perfectly preserved town under. Yeah, I'm like, that is, not at all how that would have happened.
Are you ready for a little tidbit of fun little kind of related information?
Okay.
So it is possible that there could be an underground from an abandoned project. For Calgary, for instance, Calgary has an abandoned underground sea train station right under downtown.
See, and that also makes sense because they have some of that too, like where he says again the subway tunnels and stuff like that, because those were built as.
Beneath Calgary's municipal building, there is a ghost station and a stub of an underground tunnel built in the early 1980s. It was originally intended for the sea train to run underground through downtown core, but severe economic conditions forced the city to build the line at street level on 7th Avenue instead. Funnier part is my roommate used to work for the city, and so I was telling about this when I found this, and we were laughing because it was like, oh, it's just like Chicago's Undertown, which is in these books. And he's like, yeah, no, that's not the only thing that's buried under the city.
Thanks, Jay.
We do have lots of bunker things.
There's quite a few things hidden underneath Calgary that not a lot of people are privy to.
No, that's because nobody ever wants you running around in their undergrounds. There's all kinds of underground stuff everywhere. And they either block it all off or do like specialty tours because apparently they don't want everybody running through like prohibition tunnels and shit all over the world.
So it is possible. It's just maybe like not an actual cavern.
I was going to say not quite the way this like Old West Main Street is depicted. Like I say, like you say, certain tunnels and things would be somewhat carved out like that and protected. But yeah, like you say, literally like a street from above that had sunk down would not be the buildings and all preserved like this, like it was. But yeah.
So as to point examples of all the terrors that are in Undertown, we experienced the creepiest church ever with, spiders and our homage to like Samwise Gamgee.
Yeah, we start getting our little psychic assault trying to, wait, let's go this way. But no, I don't want to.
And then we also get ghosts, ghost policemen coming through.
Because, of course, if you're running away from a crazy madman underground, you're going to run to the first cop you see swinging a baton, because that's what modern-day cops do.
And I think, actually, this is probably one of the more sort of set building that we have for Undertown, besides, like, abandoned underneath city. This actually has events and, like, foes beyond this main mystery guy.
I think that's more why Harry's like, I don't fucking go there. Like, lots of things have just made it their home. I'd be intruding on them.
Yes.
They're happy to stay down there and not come up, so I'm gonna not go fucking mess with them and give them a reason to follow me up.
And that's why, like I say, we've seen him venture there once or twice, and that's always his thing, too. And yeah, we see, like, a little bit of it, like, when he's going to Maeve, like, let's send you a guide, because they basically, again, like, walk through, like, a whole thing of, like, right? So I think that's sort of how he gets around, having a massive battle every time he goes down there. in the few times we've seen is that exactly. He's like, I'm going specifically somewhere. I'm going to get a guide so I don't have to stop and fight every creepy crawly that is lurking down. They're like, oh, you're going to see me. Just back off, guys. Don't.
Yeah.
But yeah. But
and they even set the precedence that even a guide wouldn't work because, like, you just turn around and the map changes again.
And let's just, I don't know, change somebody else for a second, you know? He's like, let's just put Marcone in danger first. And Marcone's like, I could totally save myself. And it's like, well, you didn't, though. What are you going to do? You're like, yeah.
You owe me.
But yes, our poor little dude in between, all excited to find. And then, fucking Golem caught up with you again. You, like, escaped for all of, like, 2.5.
Which, literally, like, what did you expect, though? Like, A for effort, but, like, honestly, like, no kidding.
Yeah.
Like,
that was my point. You gotta wait until the guy's more distracted to not just, like, as he turns his head and then be like, go get him. But thankfully, there's now people that are close enough to hear him scream.
yeah, which you did not know, but good job.
These are kind of like, this episode's not long enough. Let's put another side story in. How do we fill this out? Let's put a creepy church in here.
Creepy
Some
church. But I don't know, yeah.
And then make Mouse look like a rhinoceros.
Oh my god, this one.
You see?
A rhinoceros with ears.
Now that you're pointing it out, he is just a hornless rhinoceros. And
pig dog.
Yeah, oh my goodness. Sorry, Mouse.
Strange.
Sorry, artist. Your skills far outshine my own.
Yeah.
But
So it turns out Bad Santa has his own scrying mirror of Galadriel. And is
you know what that is? That's just a broken snow globe. Look at the edges on that thing. Yeah. So yes.
And more bad grammar. No matter, soon they be here. Yar.
No matter, soon they be here. And then they will learn the meaning.
So maybe maritime,
Sort of ish, that's...
some former pirate turned,
Right?
It's
kind of the vibe.
troll sorcerer. I don't know.
I don't know. It's Undertown. He just literally grew out of a swamp with this.
A little mishmash of everything. It's
It's just like some radioactive, I don't know.
We find out later that there's many studies done on how to attract our comic viewers to these books.
There's a science to it, people. Stop fucking around
And homeless Bad Santa troll is what did it.
Is what it is. That is. But now they've encountered the same policeman, so obviously they must be close now.
The logic of Harry at this point, too, is like, yeah, I, too, am tired of following this really slow piece of slime, so I'm going to run ahead without you. Ha ha ha.
Why? Almost there. I didn't have time to think what I might find. Because Harry's in a rush. Harry doesn't have time for anything in this.
Again, if he'd
novel.
gone like an entire issue alone or something like that, or half an issue, it would have made sense. But he goes one page alone. I'm like, yeah, you could have just walked.
just enough to be batted into a wall and everyone else would be like, you okay, buddy?
Thank God you got there early, Harry.
Yeah.
There, no one could have waited for that to happen.
Oh, look, this is the front door. Oops, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that sucked. Thought it wasn't me. They're you, Harry.
Right. By the power granted me by the Unsealing Accords, I now declare you sorcerer and fiend.
See, the response to this here was that he does call him, you demand it? Do you, mortal? Which to me indicates that Bad Santa is not.
And I was gonna, because you did bring that up a while back. Could be that's like, because Harry does that a lot too. More like talking about the wizards. Wizards are mortal, but a lot of times he talks about protecting them. Like, there's like the vanilla unmagical mortals, and then there's the wizardy mortals. So it could be not necessarily that he's distinguishing himself.
What you're saying there, but it's still just a weird.
It's kind of like
unless
50,
you have
50.
immortal your title.
Why would you?
I too am mortal, just extended, but he's just regular.
I guess
mortal.
maybe that is all it is. He's just rubbing it in. Like, I can live for like 400 years and I can like do shit. You can just like,
which clearly he is mortal because he gets killed pretty easily, to be honest.
Yeah. Don't they all when they meet Harry? Yeah, but now they have finally come actual face-to-face with whoever this psycho weirdo is. Now the fun begins.
This concludes our episode 19.2, Bad Santa and the Sycophant. Thank you for listening. You can find us online at freeflowrambling.com and McAnallys.ca. There we have links to our other podcasts, social media, and other fun tidbits. Please subscribe if you like what you're hearing, and please consider supporting us through Patreon to keep the magic alive and to see more content. We are Free Flow Rambling. Conjure by it at your own risk.